everyone, it's the disembodied voice of Jessie. Hope everyone is doing good now. That song is really loud. I hope you all are doing well. And I am singing, but I'm about to prepare you all because I'm just letting you know that I am going to be in a Loki cosplay. It's not the full thing, but it is fun, so prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. Are you ready? It's time for Loki. Here I am. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Here's the knife that I have that I'm using for the cosplay. Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing today? Catherine, Celeste, Don, Corey, who else? Stevoni, Cappuccino Crafts, Amy, Ava, Ms. Wicked Wolf, Ian Manning, Nightbot. Oh, good to see you, Nightbot. It's almost as if I programmed you to be here, Nightbot. Sugar Bun, good to see you. Izzy, good to see you. Oh, Angie, that's amazing. We shall have to maybe do something on the 4th. That's amazing. Heart to you. Sending you a heart. If I'm free and available when I'm during that time, if we have some time, I would love to meet up. We could do something at a park or something. That'd be a lot of fun, Angie, if you're feeling comfortable with that. But yay, that's amazing. Especially for 4th of July. That's always fun. So, hello, everybody. And, by the way, I forgot if I gave you a heart. But, Angie, here's another heart. Here's another heart for you. And everyone seems to be loving the Loki cosplay. I do have the helmet right here as well. I shared a few pictures over on the Discord. If you're one of my patrons, I shared some pictures on the Discord. But this is not the only cosplay that I have. I'm doing much more. Yay times! Thank you for asking if I'm a guy or a girl. The answer is I am a demigirl. So I am non-binary, but I do lean towards presenting as feminine. But as is evidenced by today, I don't mind looking a little bit more masculine, presenting in a little bit more masculine way, but still having some femininity to me. So thank you for asking. I do appreciate that. Yay times. So Simon T, thank you so much. Heart for you. Thank you so much for your super chat. Wait, I can send you money. You can send me money on Patreon and here on super chat, but don't worry if there's no obligation to. I'm not pushing for that or anything, but thank you. I appreciate your super chat. So just want to, and thank you. Thank you for saying I look good in green. Green is not really my color. Like, usually blue and then yellow a little bit works best for me, but I feel like I can pull off the green. I feel like it works. It's not naturally my color, but it works kind of well. I think, honestly, can I be honest? Sorry, I know I haven't done the introductions for the chat yet, and I will do that, but if I'm being honest with everybody, oh boy. Thank you for catching that, by the way, Wellington Smith. I appreciate you. But if I'm being honest with everybody, I feel like I look dang good in this outfit. Like, you know, like I said, like, I present more femininely, but every once in a while when I put on a nice, like, suit, I'm like, this is good. This is good. I can live with this. It's the joys of being non-binary and loving playing with the spectrum of gender presentation too. So Edward Bedor, thank you so much for the super chat. Heart to you. Thank you so much. Just wanted to say, Jesse's more masked today. I'm more fun. Exactly, Wellington. I'm definitely presenting much more masked today, just for the funsies, just for the video. So, anyways, before we get too much further, because we've already been going for a few minutes here, and thank you, Corey, and thank you everybody for saying it looks good. I know. I think I look good. I think I pull it off pretty well. But anyways, just to let everyone know who may be new to this stream or what we do here. Hi, my name is Jesse Gender. Welcome. Hopefully you know what the channel is and who I am. But this is the live stream that I do every single week on Thursdays, where for about an hour or so, I just sit and hang out with everybody. We chat. I just sort of talk with everyone in the chat about whatever the chat wants to talk about. If you do super chats, I'll read your questions and I will give you hearts for super chats. And then at the end of the stream, I get hearts to everyone. And we just like to have fun, see where the conversation goes. Y'all in the chat have conversations amongst each other, and I sort of talk about the sort of big questions and sort of the big things that come up in super chats and stuff like that. But otherwise, this is just a nice little community meet where we all just sort of hang out, and we just talk for a while. So that's what this is. So if you're new to the stream, that's all there is, and I welcome you here, and I welcome everyone who's been here for a while. So yeah, that's it. And for those of you who are like wondering why I'm dressed like this, is those of you, I sort of already started mentioning it, but I'm filming a video about Loki and about Loki's gender fluid history and as Loki as an LGBTQ icon, because the video is going to be about more than just his history as a gender fluid person, but really looking at why Loki really has resonated as a character with the LGBTQ community. So it's going to be a really fun video, and I spent all of today filming for it. And I'll warn, this is not the only cosplay, because it's supposed to be gender fluid. So this is not the only cosplay that I get to wear. So when that video comes out, there will be plenty. and I don't mean to do this. I do mean to. I'm lying. I do mean to do it. But anyways, some of them may be a little bit more thirsty than this one is. I'll put that out there. Stephen Fenn, thank you so much for your super chat. I really appreciate you. Almost missed today. Love the Loki suit. Well, you didn't almost miss it, because this is just the start. So there we go. So you got here just in time. Jessie for mayor. No, come on. Jessie, where's the button? Jessie, I was like reaching on this side because I'm looking at my image on the computer. Jessie for president. Come on. Jessie 2024. Come on, let's make it happen. I know I don't have any sort of political career, but I'm just gonna go from just nothing to being president. That's how it works in America. I mean, honestly, this is a Loki cosplay, but this could very much be like a conservative talk show radio host cosplay just as easily. The dang wokes, the liberals are trying to ruin everything. Like that, this could easily just be just that. Anywho, I see some more super chats here. Heart to you. And yes, Loki is gender fluid. I agree, and that's, again, the whole video is going to be on that. Heart to that. I was trying to hang in there, but bad migraine. Wanted to show my support on the way out the door. Well, Ulysses, please take care of yourself. I know there was a few people that were hanging out here. There was... and thank you, Wellington Smith and Corey, for that. I appreciate you grabbing that. But I just wanted to say, like, like, take care of yourself. Ulysses, I know Just Us Crickets, I know you were feeling kind of, like, tired. So please, I love hanging out with everybody here, but please take care of yourself first. That's way more important. Like, way more important. Please take care of yourselves. So, there's some bad actors. Thank you to the bots for being awesome and grabbing the people that are being bad actors in the chat. Let's give some love to the mods. Mods, you are absolutely lovely, and I really appreciate all of you for being absolutely amazing and wonderful folks. So heart to the mods here. Anyways, how are you old enough to run? Would I be old enough to run at 20? So I think someone says the age to run for president, you have to be 35. So in 2024, what is it, 2020? I actually would not be eligible. I would be only 32? Depending on, I'd have to look at the months of stuff, but like 32, I think, is like when you'd actually have to be old enough to be president. Yeah, Cocoa Butt, you should infiltrate Fox News. It's like, this is how I do it. The tricks, exactly, it's like the trickster thing with Loki and trans people too. It's just like, we're gonna sneak in and we're gonna reveal ourselves in your darkest places. Bwahaha, the evil transes, it's our evil agenda. Carlisle the Cinephile, hearts to you. No questions, just wanted to pop by and say hi. Well, thank you so much, Carlisle the Cinephile. You are lovely and I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. You are absolutely wonderful. Yes, well, all the mods. Angie, other mods beat me to it. Well, all the mods, you all get love. Like, you know, people come in the chat and they mess with stuff, but I love the mods here. You guys are all awesome. You're absolutely, I mean, I love everyone here, but cast an illusion, Ravenwind. Yes, okay, if I'm being honest with everybody here, this knife has been way too much fun. I got this knife for the cosplay, but it's a real, I thought it was going to be like a fake. It's like, this is a real dagger. It's a little dull. It's not sharpened. I could sharpen it and get like a whetstone and sharpen it, but it's rather dull, but it's also like super cool. I've just been like walking around my apartment just being like, ha, I got a dagger. And just taking it out. So if I didn't live by myself in an apartment, people probably would be worried either way. If someone like looked in a window, you'd probably just see, you know, just a trans girl walking around in pajamas going like, I got a dagger, I'm gonna stab somebody. Hi, Louis Man Gaming. Good to see you. Enough people pretending to be leftists before going right. That is sadly true. Embers of Ava. That is sadly too. Is that dagger from? This isn't officially a Loki dagger. I think I just got it. I just found it online. It was like a cheap one. It's actually for how cheap? I think it was only like 10-15 bucks. Like for 10-15 bucks, this is like legit nice for that. And it comes with a nice little sheath. Like the chain broke, but for 10-15 bucks, something like that, it was a good buy. Very worth it. I also got some other stuff. Like I think I showed earlier. I got the Loki helmet. Could do the. Ooh, actually, how does that work? How is this supposed to? I figured it out earlier, but yeah, I think that's it. It goes like that. I think that no, it's supposed to go up. Why can I not? Wait, there it is. I'm like, how could I not figure it out? That's why, because the band's there in my way. But it's supposed to be like that. The band's currently in the way, and I don't want to pull it over the headphones. But, Loki or Sylvie? I'm talking about Loki, not Sylvie. Though I do talk about Sylvie. For those of you who don't know, Sylvie is the female variant of Loki, at least as far as we know in the Loki show. So, heart to you, Edward Bedor. Do we need to be worried if you ever ordered a sword? Oh gosh. That would be bad. My one of my old roommates, he had a ton of swords, and it was pretty bomb. It was actually pretty bomb. It was really cool. I'm actually sad that I don't live with him anymore. Just for the fact that he would give me so many cosplay opportunities alone with his stuff. But he was also a really good person. One of my better roommates I've ever had. And anyways, but yeah, he was kind of dangerous. Like, I kind of want to play with the swords. They were really nice swords, like really nice swords. Oh, Hannah, that's awesome if you think you're a demigirl. That is awesome. Like I said, I'm a demigirl too. Like, I mean, honestly, if you want to go through like my entire gender identity, look at this. The people who are like hate the dang SCWs are gonna go crazy over this. But if we're being accurate, if we're gonna be accurate about my gender identity, I would probably say that I am a transgender, gender fluid demigirl. And non-binary too. I guess you could even toss in there too. Transgender because I identify as a gender other than the gender I was assigned at birth, so that makes me transgender. Non-binary because we technically put in buckets. You have boy, girl, male and female gender refers to sex over gender, but yeah, boy, girl genders, and then we sort of have this bucket where like all the other types of genders go if you're non-binary. So it's like we have the boy and girl binary genders and then non-binary genders. And so I am non-binary, so transgender, non-binary, gender fluid because I do change in my gender presentation and how I feel in my gender and how I identify within my gender. But then demigirl even within that because while I do feel like I oscillate around like different areas of gender that tend to shift between more masculine, more feminine at different times, I generally center on, for me, and this is how I define demigirl, but other people may have different definitions, I generally center on this idea of leaning more towards identifying as a girl, but not fully. So that is sort of that's sort of the complete list of my identities. But see, that's the thing that everyone sort of like gets caught up on when they say like, oh, there's too many words to describe gender and stuff. It's like, yeah, because gender is, there are many different things. Like we have so many words to describe every different type of animal species and every different type of bacteria or different types of all this stuff. So why wouldn't our words be more specific? Why wouldn't we fit into multiple categories? So I always think that that's sort of like a really, really cool thing. So I think it's just a really cool thing just to see, just to describe that. So anyways, yeah, exactly, Angie P. Gender is complicated. I don't why, but I would get a Warhammer. I wanted to get a battle axe for this cosplay. Or not this one of the other cosplays that I'm doing. Unfortunately, I couldn't get one for relatively cheap. I don't have tons. I mean, this video is going to be one of the more expensive ones anyways, considering all the cosplays that I had to do. So it's going to be a more expensive video. And I could not find an axe that was relatively cheap for it. But what are you going to do? And Punk Rock Zoologist, heart to you. You are absolutely lovely. Thank you so much for the super chat. Happy belated birthday, Jessie. Gonna send you some. Yes, send me some Tim Tams. I want to know what Tim Tams are. I do not know, and I am excited to find out. So thank you, Punk Rock Zoologist. I have literally. I mean, I looked it up the other day. It's like a candy, right? which I'm very excited for. Send me candy. If I demand anything from my audience, it is candy. Send me candy. Don't send me candy. You'll start like messing with my health. If all of you started sending me candy, it would be a bad time. Anyways, sorry, I missed last week. Was in the lab, literally up to my elbows in soil, looking for weevil grubs. Ah, the glamorous life of a scientist. That is awesome. That is awesome. Like punk rock zoologist. For those of you who don't know, is a big Star Trek fan. Runs one of the really cool Star Trek podcasts that I have guested on. Called The Vedic Assembly. It's a Deep Space Nine podcast, but is also a really wonderful person and a scientist, being up in here, being mad smart and awesome. Like, look at you being smart. Look at, shout out to the scientists here. I know there's a few scientists that come and hang out here. Shout out to the scientists for being absolutely amazing here. Punk rock zoologist, I know you're one of them. Taco Butt, can we send you Taco Bell? Send me some, if you want to send me Taco Bell, you can send me Taco Bell, but you have to send it to my, you'd have to send the Taco Bell to my my P.O. box. Sadly, I'm not giving you out my address. Appreciate you all, but not doing that. But if you send me Taco Bell, you send it to the P.O. box. So the post office would be like, why is there Taco Bell in the mailbox? I'd be like, oh, well, someone just really wanted Taco Bell and decided to order it. Let's see. Catherine Lambeth, oh, thank you so much. Heart to you. You are lovely. Here's something for the Dagger Fund. Don't do anything. Wouldn't make me revoke your totem shit. Oh, I've already literally just waving this around like this breaks the totem shit. For those of you who don't know, and every time I say totem shit, I always wanted to say totem shit. For those of you who weren't Boy Scouts, since I'm an Eagle Scout and I can totally break the rules, the totem shit was like you get that in Boy Scouts when you're like taught the like safety rules of wood carving or like using a knife. So you learn how to use a knife, you get the totem shit, and it's just sort of like a little Boy Scout-y certificate-y thing saying that you have all the safety rules. You need to do that to be able to get like different merit badges like wood carving. I actually, back in the day, because I worked at a Boy Scout summer camp, I actually taught the totem shit for a long time. I actually taught wood carving, for strangely enough. I used to carve the wood. Uh-oh. Did I freeze up? There we go. I used to carve the wood. The stream went down as soon as I said carve the wood. I used to carve the wood, as they say, back in Boy Scouts, which is actually not inaccurate. I mean, I didn't get any action when I worked at Boy Scouts, but in Boy Scouts, it was like the gayest place I've ever been. I'm talking about between like a consenting adults, not between anything untoward. But when I worked at the Boy Scout camp, there was a bunch of adults that worked there, and there was a lot of closeted gay folks working on the staff, which is totally cool. I'm not gonna out them or anything like that, but it was just like, this is the gayest place on earth. And again, like I said, consenting adults. I don't want to give the wrong impression or anything like that. Yeah, it was just kind of funny. So. And also, I missed Geek Filter. Thank you so much. Heart to you. Are you dressing up as Loki on Saturday? LOL. Been loving the pics today. Yes. And actually, I'm going to show the chat. Can I show the chat? Chat. Do you want me to? I mean, I'm. By the way, I'm supposed to be Geek Filter. I'm supposed to be on your show on. Is it Saturday or is it Sunday? I thought it was going to be Sunday. I'll post up on my community tab, but I'm going to be on a Star Trek show, Geek Filter's Star Trek show, either Saturday or Sunday, at noon on Pacific time. It'll be a live show, so you'll be able to interact with me then. And maybe I'll dress up as Loki. Why not? I could try a different one. So, but someone asked a different question. You cringed the stream, Jessie. You cringed the stream. I did cringe the stream. I made a sex joke at the stream. It was like, no, what happened? Heart to you, Aaron. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Aaron Nicholson. You are lovely. Thank you for the super chat. Saturday. So it is Saturday. Okay. For some reason, I thought it was Sunday. Good thing you told me, because that could have been a problem. But good. Sounds all good, Geek Filter. Cal, the non-binary pal, Jesse Gender, who's your favorite MCU character? I'm not pointing to my boob. There we go. My favorite MCU character is my boobs. That's the best MCU character. So, is the stream being wonky? It's telling me it's being wonky here. How is the stream doing? How's the stream looking? Can everyone tell me how the stream's looking here? Because it's looking, my computer is telling me that it's being a bit wonky. So I just want to make sure that it's actually going through. My internet's being The internet here has been like up and down the past few weeks. It's been kind of annoying. I pay for like good internet, and then it's like, lols. We're a monopoly, so we can do whatever we want to you. Okay, good. It looks like it. Okay, good. It seems fine. Sweet. Okay, thank you, chat. I appreciate it. Yeah, there's like a back end thing here on YouTube, and the back end thing on YouTube I just keep up in the background, just sort of keep an eye on how things are going, and it's saying right now not receiving enough video stuff. So I'm like, gasp, like gasp. What is this voice that I just found? This is old man Jessie. Just here to tell you children to take care of yourself and be kind to others. Don't make the same mistakes that I did back in my youth. I don't know what that was. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I had to do that. I had to do it. I didn't have to. I just wanted to. It's fine. But anyways, we were talking about favorite MCU characters. Getting back to that topic. Favorite MCU characters. Loki is... I keep wanting to point to the badge. It's over here. Loki is easily my favorite MCU character by like a country mile. Steve Rogers probably would be number 2. I mean, you got that representing that over there. Yeah, those would probably be the 2 biggest. I actually like Thor as well. Thor is always generally a lot of fun, especially how he's evolved since his first appearance. So, but someone just, what did I just see? I just saw someone where, there we are. Danny Rocks. Well, heart to you. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. You said, oh, and Nebula is, thank you, Rowan. I almost forgot Rowan. Nebula is in there as well. So probably Steve, Nebula, and Loki are probably my top 3. Yeah. But Danny Rocks, hi, I'm trans and I'm on the spectrum, and your content helped me make me feel better about myself, and I wanted to tell you thank you. Well, thank you for being super kind. Number 1, you're welcome, and number 2, thank you for being so kind and for watching the content and for saying the nice things and for being part of this community. So, Danny, you are loved and you are awesome. Thank you so much, and you are totally welcome here. So, pre-ordered the Loki. There are Loki Funko Pops. See, I used to get into the Funko Pops, but they're not I still like them, but I don't buy them as much as I used to because I already have a whole bunch of them. But I would like a Loki statue or something. Maybe someday I'll get like a nice statue of Loki. That'd be kind of fun. But heart to you, Bronze Eagle Productions. You are absolutely lovely. Thank you so much for the super chat. You said from one Jessie to another, happy belated birthday, and also I would totally vote for you. Well, thank you. Maybe I should run for, probably since I'm a YouTuber, my YouTube would be used against me if I ever decided to run for office. I wouldn't be against running for office, maybe like something more local or something like that. It's not something I wouldn't be against maybe in a few years or something like that if I really thought about it, but I doubt. We'll see. I feel like whoever I'd run against would be like, girl used to be a YouTuber, so yeah, why is she trying to be up here and be a politician? So I don't know if it's something that would ever be in my cards, but it's not something I'm against. But T. Gowan, heart to you. Thank you so much for your super chat. I really appreciate you. Thank you, and heart to you. You are absolutely lovely. I am Groot. Hey, Jedi Indiana Jones. Yeah, Nebula. Nebula is great. I love Nebula, especially she's played by frickin' Amy Pond. Like, how could you go wrong with that? Amy Pond is the best. By the way, Amy Pond, probably my favorite companion. I'd have to think on it. But probably my favorite companion is Amy Pond. I'd have to think on it. But Edward Bedore, heart to you. Ooh, good question, Edward Bedore. If you could rank the James Bond by sex appeal, why is Pierce Brosnan number 1? I would actually, I'd actually have to think about that. Daniel Craig, I feel like would be on there, but he's a little bit too creepy at times. He feels very Terminator-esque, especially in the way he runs. So he is sexy, but a little bit soulless in how he plays Bond. I mean, Daniel Craig seems like a wonderful guy in real life. I don't know much about him in terms of his real life personality, but in terms of like the version of Bond that he plays, it feels very, very dead inside. I think Pierce Brosnan would probably be up there. I mean, they're all sort of misogynistic, so there's like a certain level of like, to all of them. But I would actually even put like Timothy Dalton. Yeah, I would probably put Timothy Dalton as number 1. Then probably Pierce Brosnan. Then Sean Connery. But Sean Connery, Like, I like Sean Connery's a great actor, and I adore his work, but also super sexist dude, which matches Bond, I guess. But that would probably be my ranking of the top 3. I'd have to look at a whole list to like check them all out. But Carla, heart to you. Thank you so much for your super chat. You said, "Hi Jesse, how was your birthday? And also, I love the voices you do. Have you ever considered or done voice acting? Love you." I have wanted to do voice acting. I have not had time. Between doing some of the side contract work that I do on this YouTube channel, I haven't had time to do voice acting, but I would love to. I mean, honestly, I'll put this out here. I don't intend to. I don't know if it'll ever happen. I don't want to make it seem like I'm pressuring for it, because I'm not. But an honest to God dream of mine would be to be like a voice actor on Star Trek Lower Decks or Prodigy. Like, even if I'm just like in the background, just like a red shirt that goes, "Oh my God," and then dies. That would honestly be a dream of mine. But I do really want to do voice acting. It's also part of why I love audio dramas. My next big project, once you know, probably towards the end of the year or starting into next year, my next big non-YouTube project that I want to do is an audio drama. And I want to write and direct it, but I also want to do a voice in it. I don't want it to be like the Jessie show, but I would love to do a voice in it. And speaking of which, if anyone has any audio dramas or any voice acting stuff that they need someone for, reach out to me. My email is below. Can't guarantee I'll have the time to do it, but if you do have any projects that are voice acting related, please let me know, because I would actually legitimately love to do that. So, and Carly, you also asked about my birthday. Birthday was good. Didn't really do much on my birthday. I took a hike up Mount Si here in Seattle, which was really nice. Then came back and watched a movie with a couple of my friends. The movie was called Untitled Horror Film, which is a horror comedy that they made during the pandemic, and it's hilarious. If you're looking for a good horror comedy, go watch Untitled Horror Film or Untitled Horror Movie. It is really, really funny. I really enjoyed it, especially considering it was one of those like Zoom movies that they did during the pandemic, like all filmed over Zoom. And I love that style. I'll be honest with you. Like Unfriended 2, both really solid horror movies filmed like that. And then Searching, which starring John Cho, Sulu himself, is freaking amazing, and I would highly recommend it. If you have not seen Searching, great mystery thriller, all set on like a computer screen, and it's fantastic. One of the best movies of that year, so I would highly recommend it. I also see a few more super chats. I got a super chat from Steven. Thank you so much for your super chat. Said, "Last week this wouldn't let me send Ace Hearts, so this is a test and $5 for you." Oh, yay! Yes, Ace Hearts. Hell yes. I'm sorry that it wouldn't let you send the Ace Hearts. Hell yes. Hearts for all. Hearts to you, Steven, and hearts to all the Ace folks that are in the chat and hanging out. If you're asexual, we love you, we adore you, and we're so happy to have you here, and I'm happy to have you here. You are fantastic. So heart to you, Steven. Heart to all the Ace people hanging out in the chat. You are lovely and absolutely freaking amazing. All right, I missed some of the conversation that came up in the chat around the James Bonds. Amy and Donna. Yeah, I would probably agree, Cappuccino Crafts. Amy and Donna are probably my 2 favorite companions. And also, yeah, Stormageddon is great. Stormageddon. Oh my gosh, you named your dog Stormageddon. That's fantastic, Catherine. I love that. Yeah, I would probably put Amy and Donna as probably high up there. I actually liked, she got a lot of crap, but Martha was always great. I liked Martha quite a bit. I love that she gave the doctor crap and said, no, screw you, at a few times. And actually just, like, one of the only companions, or one of the few companions that actually chose to stop traveling with a doctor. Like, so few, if any. I'm trying to think if any really did, besides her. There might be someone that I'm forgetting, but almost all the other companions, they kept going until something bad happened. But Martha actually said, no, I'm done. And kudos to her. That's awesome. And Martha gets a lot of crap. I'm assuming some of it racist. But I also know she gets a lot of crap from the Doctor Who fandom, especially at the time that the episodes are airing. I don't want to chalk it all up to racism because I wasn't as plugged in to that scene, so I don't make that blanket of a statement without, checking my facts, but I'm assuming it was definitely there. Let's see. Erica, heart to you. Thank you so much for the super chat. You are amazing. Thank you so much. What kind someone asked earlier, I'll answer that question in a second, but I want to answer this. Have you started reading your Terry Pratchett book you received for your birthday? He's one of my favorite authors, so I was happy to see that someone gave that to you. I have not, only because there's a couple, it's on the pile, but it is actually, like, I have an actual pile of books that I'm reading. So right now, the book I am currently finishing is I'm reading the The Hero of Ages, which is the last book in the first Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. I reviewed, I got into Mistborn just recently, and like tore through the first 2 books. My review of the first book is over on my secondary channel, by the way, and I think the review of the second one's going up next week. I recorded it like a week or so ago, but I've been holding on to it because of other things coming up. But that review will be up, and then I'm finishing the 3rd book, and then I think after the 3rd book, what's after that? There was something. Oh, there's a new Star Trek book that just came out that I wanted to read, which probably won't take me very long. The Star Trek books usually I rip through pretty quickly. So there's that, and then I think it's Terry Pratchett. There might be one. Oh no, there's the book by the guy who wrote the Martian. So it's Hero of Ages, Star Trek, the new book by the guy who wrote the Martian. I forget his name. I forget the name of the new book, and then it's Terry Pratchett. So I will be reading Terry Pratchett, and I am excited, but there's a list of books. I have to like kind of schedule my book reading time because I sadly don't get enough of it. So, yes, I am going to read Terry Pratchett. I am excited to read him. I've only read one of his books so far, and I've enjoyed what I read. So, Andy Weir, thank you, Megan. Yes, Andy Weir. That is the author I was talking about, the new Andy Weir novel. Babadook is so good. Babadook is a great horror movie. I love Babadook. Love Babadook. River Song is good. I like River Song too. When I was younger, I was super into River Song on Doctor Who, but I kind of, as I've gotten older, I've started to understand like some of the problems, especially with Stephen Moffat's writing just in general, and with the depiction with River Song. But that being said, I still really loved her, and I really loved her quite a bit. And I think the actress is freaking great and amazing. So like kick butt, takes no craps from anybody. There's always, I think the problem with like, especially with women in Stephen Moffat's writing is they always like, oh, we must fawn at the feet of the hero character. It happened in Sherlock. It happens in Doctor Who all the time, and it's kind of it's just really a problem. Like the way women are written under Moffat is not bad for 1 or 2 characters. They can work. Like I think Amy Pond works really well in that mold, but it just becomes like a recurring trend that's all the way he sees the women is like they must fawn over their guy. And I like that Amy at least got away from that. But even Amy Pond, who I really love, starts off that way. Like the whole first season of her season of Doctor Who is like, oh, I can't get away. I'm so in love with the Doctor. He is the best. And oh, I want to be with Rory and da-da. And it's like this whole is like, I don't need it. I don't need it. So. Andrew Clegg, heart to you. Thank you so much for your super chat. And I mean, most people are misguided and or fearful. Most people, I agree. That's generally my rule of thumb on this channel. When I talk about stuff, I will talk about the dark materials, but I actually want to touch upon this, but I will answer that, Andrew. But that's generally my rule on this channel, is I feel like, especially when I talk about harder topics on this channel, my general rule of thumb and the guiding light that I try to follow for the most part is that most people aren't evil. They aren't trying to be mean. There are people that are, and and I'm generally harsher to the leaders of groups or the people really pushing transphobic or bigoted ideology. Generally, lawmakers, people in power are the ones that I do that towards. But other groups as well, like gender critical feminists in the UK. They may not necessarily have a bunch of. They have some. They have gotten more, but they don't have a ton of institutional power. But they definitely wield their power in very harmful ways. And so I have less sympathy for them, not necessarily because they can't be sympathized with. There's some element of being able to do that. But I feel like it is not safe for me or helpful towards trying to protect other people. The people that I do have sympathy for, though, are the ones that will hear the rhetoric that these groups say and be like, yeah, that makes sense to me. Because the whole point that people using these transphobic or bigoted or hateful thoughts is that they're using ideas that sound like they make sense. And without context, without information, without actually doing the research and presenting, like, here's education about trans people, about da-da-da-da-da, there's a reason that those narratives can be persuasive. And so my rule on this channel is generally, like, I try to come at this point of, like, we can say screw the people at the top, but the things that they're presenting are obviously resonating with people for some reason, whether it's because they're being, you know, directly misinformed, they're lacking information, they're being manipulative, whatever. But I have sympathy for people who hear those messages and be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Now, again, there's an element of, like, there's only so much you can do that. You have to protect yourself after a certain point, you know. I'm not going to be able to talk to, like, Nazis and think, like, I can convince them. Maybe I could, but there's an element of, like, there's not enough, I don't have enough energy, and it puts me in a very unsafe place to do that. And at some point, you just got to be like, no, this is the line, and I have to fight back here. So that's generally my rule on that sort of stuff. But, again, it's not a hard and fast rule for all people. It's not all hard and fast rule for all channels. I am an educator. I like to educate about stuff. And so for me, I try to come from a place of educating. That's not what everyone has to do. That's not everyone who's trying to fights for trans people has to do. Not every trans person has or should be has to be or should be an educator. That's who I am. Doesn't mean that everyone has to be. So there are different tactics we can take, but that's just generally how I try to go about it. But sorry, Andrew was asking about his Dark Materials. I have not read the books. I do wish to. They are on that ever-growing list of books that I want to read. But I have not read them. I have watched the show and seen the movie. The movie I haven't seen in a while. The show I have watched. I like the show, but I don't love it. Like, the world seems interesting to me, and I love the actors involved. But for some reason, there's just something about it that doesn't, like, completely click. And especially the second season felt a little bit overlong to me, even though it is already kind of short. Like, I don't know. It's something about, like, I feel like the story's just a little bit too slow for me. Like, I like the idea of it, and I like this idea of, like, screw, you know, like, Catholicism in the sense of, like, the institution of it. I think it's a really smart commentary on how that sort of works, but I don't necessarily think the show clicks with me. But the books I am curious about. And I am going to finish watching the show. Because I watched the first few seasons. I think the next season is going to be the last season. So I liked the show. It didn't, like, knock my socks off in terms of anything. Bronze Eagle Productions says, are you going to watch the Netflix Fear Street trilogy? Oh, you bet I am. I am so pumped for that. I am so pumped for that. I hope it's cheesy fun. I just want it to be cheesy fun. Like, give me the Fear Street trilogy cheesy fun, and I am so excited about that. And yes, AJC, I did see H-Bomber Guy's Sherlock is Garbage, and Here's Why. I think he also did one on Doctor Who as well. They were very good videos. Heart to you, Edward Bidor. Ariel Not Star Wars Saga on YouTube is amazing. They turned C3PO to a psycho obsessed with merging organic and robot parts and calling it creepy. Ooh. Is that an audio drama? Because that sounds actually legitimately super fascinating and interesting. I would be hella down for that. Like, what is Ariel Not Star Wars Saga? Because that actually sounds... Star Wars Saga. That actually sounds like a lot of fun. Ooh, okay. I am saving the first episode of that, my friend, right in my watch later. I will check that out, because that idea sounds super fascinating. I love fan fiction projects like that. That's always sort of fun. All right. Azure Sparkle, heart to you. Thank you so much for the super chat. US, do you have a Loki helmet with 2 horns or a Sylvie helmet with 1 horn? Sadly, I don't have the one with 2 horns, but I do have the one with 1 horn. It's kind of, I can't put it on over the headphones, but I do have it here. There's the headphones. Also, did that change the lighting? What? Ha. Look at that. Put it up here. I'm not doing that. Like, you see my hands. That's so weird. Did it? Okay. That was weird. Anywho, I don't know why I did that, but I do have the helmet. But thank you. I appreciate you. You are lovely. Let's see. I'm catching up here. You've seen Lower Decks, asked on. Yes, I did. I reviewed every episode of Lower Decks. I love Star Trek Lower Decks. Probably my favorite modern Star Trek show right now. I like Discovery. I like Picard, but Lower Decks is probably my personal favorite. And I'm also excited for Prodigy. Like, really excited for Prodigy. Nick Bell, your videos helped me to learn more about how gender works. Well, Nick, I'm glad. Yay! I'm glad. I'm honored by that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I agree, Robles. Philosophy Tube's arsonist character is such a good representation of that. I love the detail Abby puts into her characters. Well, yeah, agreed. Abby's characters are so perfectly metaphorical. Like, the arsonist is a great sort of description of fascism and how fascism works and incepts its way into society and sort of sets off different fires. Really great metaphor. Like, Abby's videos and use of the arsonist as a character is really, really great. And now the arsonist's wife, I believe, is a character that she's introduced, which was a lot of fun. So, yes, very much. I totally agree with you. Oh, yes! Punk Rock Zoologist. Apparently, the Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin is being adapted for film by TriStar, and I am very excited. Me, too. The Broken Earth trilogy is freaking amazing. If you have not read the Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin and you're a fantasy fan, you are doing yourself a disservice. I am continually pounding the table because of how good this book series is, and I am so pumped for the adaptation. I really hope they do it justice because they are really, really good. They talk about intersections of gender and oppression and systems of oppression, institutions of oppression, but how that gets passed out into just everyday sort of like people extolling, racism and bigotry. But also like a really cool world as well. Like the world that's built in that fantasy series is so cool and fascinating and rich. Yes, you owe it to yourself to go read the Broken Earth trilogy. So good. So good. Cannot recommend it enough. Cannot recommend that enough. I highly recommend it. Lisa Garrison asks, let's see. Sorry, my chat just jumped all over the place. And Lisa, did you catch the premiere of Rick and Morty? The Rick and Morty season premiere? I did. I really liked it. It was really good. I really deeply enjoyed it. I'm trying to remember exactly what happened. Oh, yeah, the Aquaman parody guy. He controls the police. It's like so weird, and then like propositions them for a threesome. And they were like both into it. That was great. And I love the time distortion. I always love time distortion stories like that, where like a character comes in to like a situation and then goes like a Narnia door, as they say in the episode. I love like those types of like time works differently in different places through different portals sort of stories. I think those are always a lot of fun. So I really liked it. It was a good premiere. I laughed heartily. Like it was a good hearty laugh. So as I just wanted an excuse to hold up the knife because I still got the knife here. So there we go. Ooh, Andrew Clegg, hard to you. Thank you so much for the super chat. You said Loki, Thor, Hela, Valkyrie. Rank the sexiness. Ooh, that is hard. Oh my god, that is super hard. Because they're sexy for different reasons, right? Like, I think they're all really sexy. But for different reasons. Like I'm attracted to them for completely... I find them all attractive, but I'm attracted to them for... I can't even know how I can rank that. I mean, Valkyrie number one? Because she's just badass and hot and, like, my type. I'm always into women that can beat me up. I would probably put Thor? Probably Thor. Just, if I'm just going on sexiness alone, probably Thor. I don't like myself for that, but come on. Jessie would be fine with getting with Thor. More than fine with getting with Thor. Anyways, sorry, what we're talking about. Anyways, number 3, probably Loki, then probably Hela. I like Hela, but you know, she's evil, so I guess she goes down the list. Loki is an anti-hero, so I can live with that. But Loki is also really hot. But yeah. God, that's so difficult. I think that's my list. Valkyrie, Thor, Loki, Hela would be the list, but I'm not happy with it. I don't like ranking them. I would just put them all at the same level. Anywho, Wellington Smith, heart to you. Thank you so much for your super chat. You said, please say in your best Tendy voice. Ooh. I don't know if I can do a Tendy voice. Like, she has such a unique voice, and my register isn't the same, but I'll try. I'm going to put this over here. I got to hold a heart! Yeah, see, that didn't... Like, her voice is higher pitched than I think I can go. It's like, I got to hold a heart! Yeah. It's not a good impression, I don't think I can do... Like, I can do voices. I don't think I can do Tendy's voice that well. So. Oh, I am loving the production design of Loki too, Paul X. I love the production design. I think it's great. Let's see. Would you be willing to audition for a new Stargate series? Oh yeah, hell yeah. Cocoa Butt, yeah, in a hot second. If someone, I mean, I don't have an agent, and so I don't know who the hell would ask me to audition. But if someone said you want to audition for the Stargate show, yes, I do have acting. Just to let everyone know, I do have acting experience. I was raised. I did do acting for quite a number of years. I mean, I have acting experience doing YouTube. I also did. I took Meisner acting theory for 5 years. Five semesters. So not 5 years. 5 semesters. So yeah, I do have acting experience if anyone needs it. Just putting that out there. I do know how to act. I can act good. Jessie act good does stuff. But not script read good well. Anywho, Erica, heart to you. Thank you so much. You said, what are ace hearts? I did Google it, but nothing immediately came up that explained it in the term of how it's used in the chat. So ace hearts, what people were just saying is they were using the heart emojis with ace colors. So as I think Steven posted it down below, black, white, and purple. Like that's the color of the ace flag is black, white, and purple. Or is it silver or white? I forget if it's silver or white, but black, silver / white, and purple. And so that's the colors of the ace flag. So when people say ace hearts, they're just using black, white, and purple hearts in the chat. So that's the reason for it. That's what ace hearts means. So it's just representing asexuality. So if we were to say like, oh, we're gonna use trans hearts, you'd use like light blue, light pink, and white, and that would be trans hearts because that's the color of the trans flag. So yeah. Carla, heart to you. Thank you so much for your super chat. How close do you think we are to having real representations for LGBTQIA people in mainstream family movies like Disney movies? Good question. I feel like it will happen. The issue really is, I feel like it would have happened already. But the issue really is the Hollywood's sort of bowing down to the Chinese market. So when they do include LGBTQ characters, especially Disney is really known for this, but other studios do it too, where they won't show like an LGBTQ character if they have one in there. They'll make the part small. They'll make the part plausibly deniable that the character is actually LGBTQ, and then they'll also cut them out for international release. And also they'll usually save like the LGBTQ content for like their TV shows. Like this is something I point out in the video that I filmed today about Loki. It is worth noting that while Loki has now been officially made canonically bisexual within the Loki TV series, it was done in the TV show. It wasn't done in the movies. The TV show is way less financially important to Disney than the movies are, and also they will get some. I'm sure they will get some international distribution, but they're going to be way less likely to get a ton of international distribution. So it's really important that like Loki was made canonically bisexual, but in the TV show. And I really wonder if they're going to show anything that shows him like making out with a guy or anything like that, so that they can again have that plausible deniability. And they'll probably edit out that scene where he like officially reveals that he is bisexual in international releases. In terms of when do I think I'll see it, I think we'll probably see it in like animation first, would be my guess. Like I'm sure like Eternals I know will have a LGBTQ character, but I think it's supposed to be small. I think we'll probably see an animation. Like I could see something like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse doing it, or like a Sony animation movie, or like some other Disney or like some other animated movies. Not Disney necessarily. Disney I think would be one of the last ones to do it. So I feel like we'll probably see it in animation first, and then it'll be sort of a big screen thing, but you just need to get across that like first barrier. And I think Hollywood trying to make films for China in international markets that will explicitly censor any movies that have LGBTQ characters is the major hurdle. So I think it will happen. I think it will happen in the near future. I question how big it's going to be and if that movie will even get anything released. Like, I feel if it happens, it's going to be a movie that's not going to be one of the bigger movies. It will be a smaller movie that a studio will be fine with being like, well, if we don't get into China, it'll be okay. because it's not going to be marketed there that much anyways. Won't do that well there anyways. So it will happen there. And then once a movie like that is successful, like it has a gay main character and then it is successful, then other studios will be like, well, maybe we can get on this hype train. It's all about the money. So that would be my guess is how it's going to work. A smaller movie will have an LGBTQ character in it. Once that movie is successful, which it may or may not be, but there'll probably be a few of them. But once that movie is successful, then we'll start to see more. I mean, you say the same thing with like female-led superhero movies. No one made a female-led superhero movie that really did well, or like the female superhero movies came out, but they didn't really do well, like Catwoman, because they were bad. But then you have Wonder Woman come out. Wonder Woman does bonkers money, and then you see a whole bunch of female-led superhero movies after that. You see, you see Captain Marvel, you see Black Widow. I'm sure there's gonna be more. So that really is how that goes. It really follows the financial stuff of it, which just sucks. It's not how it should happen. It's not how it should happen, but it is sadly how it does happen in the film industry, which sucks. But capitalism. No one said it was ethical. So, all right. Edward Bedor, heart to you. Thank you so much for your super chat. You said Stargate Atlantis 2.0 starring Jessie as Dr. Gender. Yes, I'll be the next Rodney McKay. Just have me be Dr. Gender instead of Dr. McKay. I would love that. I would love to play the asshole. That would be so much fun. Oh, that would be so much fun if I got to play the like a douchey character, like the douchey, like full of myself character, like a Dr. McKay or the Doctor type from like Star Trek Voyager. I would like that. That'd be a lot of fun. That would actually be a lot of fun. I always wanted to play like Captain Hammer, and yeah, before I came out as trans, I always wanted to play Captain Hammer. Captain Hammer's here, hair blowing in the breeze. The day needs my saving expertise. A man's gotta do what a man. Like, ironically, that I would sing that song, but yeah, no, the douchey characters are fun. They're fun to play. So. I love to have Jessie as an honorary Canadian. I mean, honestly, yeah, get me out of the United States. I'm fine with that. Yeah, a Geek Filter. And then Wonder Woman 1984 happened. Yeah. And then Wonder Woman 1984 happened. Oh, I was so shocked by that movie. I remember watching it. Like, I watched it, I think, Christmas Eve with a friend of mine. And we were so excited. We were like, it's freaking Wonder Woman. I mean, I loved the first movie, and then we watched Wonder Woman 1984, and I was like, so this isn't just me. This was bad, right? And my friend was like, yeah, that was awful. And I was just so disappointed. I was shocked. I mean, I did a whole video on it, but I was shocked. I was legitimately shocked how bad Wonder Woman 1984 was. Queer coded characters are fun, too. No, Leo Man Gaming, don't get me wrong. I am not against queer coding overall. Queer coding can be fun. I am a shipper. I genuinely enjoy a good queer coded character. But the problem is that we only get, for a lot of things, we only get queer coded characters. There's a lot of queer coded characters. Queer coded characters are often shown to be villains, or coded as villains. Like Loki himself is more anti-hero, but villain coded, and he is definitely also, at least gay or more effeminately coded. So, and again, not to say all gay people are effeminate or something like that, but that's how coding works. They usually lean into stereotypes to showcase stuff. So don't get me wrong. I love me a good queer coded character any day. Love it. Have fun with it. I really, believe me, I enjoy the crap out of that. But the problem is it's too ubiquitous. And it's also ingrained in some really bad stereotypes in Hollywood based out of the Hays Code. So, yeah, so that's the main problem. It's like, it's not that I'm against gay coding on the whole. I am just against the context of how much it's been and how it's only used and how that's the only type of representation that we see. But don't get me wrong. I will enjoy a good gay code. Like, Kirk/Spock, I'm here. Like, that was partially not intentional. Some of the stuff I'm like, how could you not think that was intentional? But partially not intentional. But I do like to ship Kirk and Spock. They are definitely together in my brain, if not the actual canon of the show. So, Susie M, heart to you. Thank you so much for your super chat. You are lovely. You said, belated happy birthday, happy pride, and congratulations on being a full-time YouTuber, raising glass to your continued success. Well, thank you very much, Susie. I really appreciate you, and thank you so much for your super chat, and thank you for the birthday wishes. You are absolutely lovely. This unsheathing of the knife is for you. I just wanted to show off the knife again. I'm holding it this whole time. Just so you all know, this entire stream, I have been holding the knife right down here, and in my lap, and I've just been like, it's like, I just want an excuse to play with it. It's so much fun. I don't know why, but it's just fun. I'm violent Jessie. This is how you're gonna see, like, next live stream, be like, guys, I've gotten obsessed with the knife. It's such a good knife. No, it's like, suddenly I'm just really into daggers. Exactly, Bashir and Garrick. Yeah, that's a good sort of gay-coded relationship, Ian. Very, very much so. Very, very much so. Just watch Steve. Yeah, Steve Shive's video on shipping was really, really good. If you have not seen it, I would highly recommend that. Steve Shives did a video on shipping just the other day, and I would highly recommend it. Let's see. Thoughts on Gotham, Lumen Gaming. Never watched. I watched the first season of Gotham. Liked it. And I think it was a lot of fun. It's one of those, like, campy fun shows. But I never got super into it, so I don't have a ton of, like, strong opinions on it because I never watched the later seasons. But it's one of those shows that's like, oh, it's so weird and campy, and I'm here for weird and campy. As long as you know what you're in for, then I'm here for it. So I liked the show. I just didn't go into it for too long because I got distracted by other shows. So I didn't finish off Gotham. I do mean to get back to it at some point, though. EM, thank you so much for your super chat. You are lovely. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much. What is your favorite Octavia Butler book? I adore her work. I believe you mentioned her before. And you have Will Seed is gender fluid. I am not, but I fall deeply in love with that character story. Oh, that's amazing. I will have to read. I need to read more Butler. The only Butler that I have read is Kindred. I do want to read more. Ooh, sorry, I hit the thing there. But the other book, I actually have her on my. I have a list of audiobooks that I'm going through here. And I actually have one of her series on here. I'm trying to remember the name of it that I do want to get to. For some reason I can't find it. Unfortunately, I can't find it. Oh, no, here it is. The Exogenesis series. The Exogenesis series that she reads. That's probably the next series that I want to read. But I loved Kindred. Kindred was fantastic. Sadly, I just haven't gotten back to her. But I want to because she is absolutely fantastic. Based on Kindred alone, she does such a great job. Mixing in discussions of race and discussions of oppression, but also, like, coming at it from an era of, like, the complicated nature of it. Like, Kindred, and also mixing in, like, cool science fiction stuff with it. Like, Kindred is such this wonderful time travel story that mixes in, like, the complicated interactions of slavery. Like, the character in Kindred is forced to empathize and take care of a slave master. And it's really this recognition that, like, it's like people of color, black people in slavery were treated so terribly, and yet there's this complicated relationship that happened because of it, because of the horrors that they had to go through. And so it's such a very complicated book. And it does so with a really interesting science fiction setting with time travel and things like that, and sort of relating it to the present day. It's really great. She's really great. So I do mean to get back to her, but the only book I have read of hers is Kindred. So I do want to read more of her stuff, but sadly, I have done myself a disservice and not read more of her stuff lately. Though I am, just to give you a little side thing, I do stuff for the Museum of Pop Culture, and I'm actually editing a video right now that we're using footage. They do interviews, like oral histories with authors, and they did an interview with Octavia Butler, so I've been editing some footage with Octavia Butler that they had. It's old footage. It's not new footage, but it's an old interview that I was sort of, like, listening to, which was kind of nice. She's very smart. She's very, very smart. And thank you, Wellington Smith, for sharing Steve's shipping video. It's a good video. I highly recommend it. So click and save the link that Wellington just shared out there. So, hard to you, Edward B. Dorr. Thank you so much. Since you have a knife, quote the Joker. You know why I love knives? Guns are too quick. You can't save her all the time. Oh, yeah. I'll see if I can. I don't remember what that line's from, so I don't remember. It's like, you know why I love knives? Guns are too quick. You can't savor all the tiny emotions. I guess that's my best sort of Joker there. I could do a little bit more crazy there, but that was sort of like a very quieted one. Like, I'm trying to, like, think of what a good Joker. Why so serious? I mean, that's the sort of obvious one. That's the sort of obvious Joker thing. One day, my father was a drinker. One day, he goes off a little crazier than usual. Something like that. So, Stephen Fenn, thank you so much for the super chat. Heart to you. You are absolutely lovely. And Ace hearts and trans hearts. Sorry if I keep going on about being asexual. It's sort of the elephant in my big brain. No, that's amazing, Steven. Hell yeah. Like, we're all allowed to have that big thing that's taking up our brain space, right? Like, for me, I mean, other than YouTube, me being trans doesn't take up all that much brain space for me right now. I mean, on YouTube, I'm thinking about it a lot, in terms of the topics that I discussed. But in my, like, everyday going out and grabbing groceries life, I'm not thinking about being trans. But when I was younger, when I was, like, in the process of discovering my trans, even after I came out for a long time, it was very much front of mind. And that's, like, part of identity, right? As we discover parts of our identity, we think it over. We discuss it. We think about it. We sit with it in our brain. And so, Steven, if you're like stuck on just thinking about being asexual and what that means for you and exploring that, that's cool. That's totally cool. So don't ever feel bad for going on about being asexual. Hell yeah. If I'm allowed to go on about being trans, which I do, I have a whole freaking channel where I talk about it. If I'm allowed to have that, you're allowed to talk about being asexual. So, hell yes. Nothing wrong with that, Steven. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? That was actually not bad. I think that was actually pretty bad. It's raining like crazy where I'm at, so I had to stand outside a bit. That's okay. I'm glad you're stay safe, Louis Man Gaming. Stay safe. Yeah, we were talking about Gene Roddenberry and the shipping thing. Yeah, Gene Roddenberry very much no homo the Kirk/Spock thing. I did a whole video on it. If anyone wants to check it out, I did a video on the history of slash fiction, which basically is like the history of Kirk/Spock and why Kirk/Spock was so important to the Star Trek community and actually saved Star Trek. It's actually a video I'm really, really proud of and has some Star Trek actors in it. I actually got some actors from Star Trek in it. But there's a whole bit about there and how Roddenberry viewed Kirk/Spock, which was he was willing to use it to help bring his show back, but wasn't willing to actually acknowledge it within the actual show itself, and actually expressly said no homo in his novelization of Star Trek the Motion Picture. So, dude was clear, and again, Roddenberry, complicated figure, did a lot of great things, did some bad things. But in this is something he was very much willing to use the community and capitalize on the fan fiction community in order to show that there was still interest for Star Trek to get Star Trek back, which I get it. I understand, that makes sense. You care about something, you want to show like, hey, there's a fan base for it. But when it came time to actually like representing that, he basically did a no homo, which he didn't need to do. Like, it's one of those, like, look, I get it if you didn't want the characters to be gay, if that's okay, you're allowed to do that. I would have liked it, or you should have added some gay characters in the show, but I get it. Different time and there's different context and there's a whole conversation to be had there. And so I get it. But you didn't have to go out of your way to say no homo, which he did. He did. And that was kind of the shitty thing about it. Yeah, it's one thing to just be like, we're not going to do that. It's another thing to literally go like, yeah, no, Kirk and Spock are definitely not a thing. I guess you sort of see the difference there. So, and heart to you, Edward Bedore. Thank you so much for your super chat. Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn is, at least my interpretation anyways, a lesbian rescuing a bisexual from their abusive psycho boyfriend. Yeah, very much so. I don't know if I think Poison Ivy... Poison Ivy definitely rescues... There's even comics about that, by the way. There's like a whole Harley Quinn run where Harley Quinn is getting over the fact that she's broken up with the Joker, but he's still present in her mind. She's sort of dealing with the trauma of that, and Poison Ivy is totally there for her, and it's a great run of comics. One of my personal favorites, to be frank with you. But within that, I also think that Poison Ivy, and also the animated show kind of does that as well. But I feel like Poison Ivy is also bisexual. She's portrayed as bisexual numerous times. She dates guys, so I think both Harley and Poison Ivy are bisexual. As they're depicted currently. Now, that could change. There's many different iterations and versions of characters in different universes, multiverses, and things like that. But I believe the primary versions of both characters are portrayed as bisexual currently. So, all right, this is going to be the last one because I actually need to pee. So I actually need to pee a little bit. But and then we're going to, and hey Vale, good to see you. I didn't see you, Vale. It's been a minute. It's good to see you. I'm gonna do this last super chat from Harjupta. And I know I just screwed up pronouncing that because I'm a jerk, and I did not mean to, but I cannot remember how to say it correctly, and I do apologize. You are welcome to hate me. I am so sorry. Apologies to you. But I am going to read your super chat and heart to you. And you said, okay, Jesse, settle this. Heath Ledger, Jack Nicholson, Mark Hamill, rank them by their Joker roles. Ooh, okay. This is actually pretty simple. for me. Mark Hamill number 1, Heath Ledger number 2, Jack Nicholson number 3. Mark Hamill, whenever I think of the Joker, whenever I like see the Joker in the comics, I always think Mark Hamill's voice. He is so perfect as the Joker. Every iteration of him is where he plays the Joker, he is absolutely spot on fantastic. Number 2, Heath Ledger, really great. Really, he managed to take the Joker and do something new with the Joker, which is not something that easy to do. And not only that, but make it his own. And he just is so creepy and has such presence. Adore Heath Ledger's Joker. Jack Nicholson's Joker, I find the least interesting because he's just a gangster. Like, it's just the least interesting version of that character. He plays the Joker as if he's just a gangster. Like a crazy gangster, but like a gangster. And I don't think that that is what makes Joker interesting. And so Jack Nicholson, good actor, for sure. And he does bring that sort of like, you know, manic energy to the character. But I don't think he really gets all that far in terms of like really distinguishing the Joker as something unique. And I think that's where the failures of it is. So yeah, so that's easily my ranking. Mark Hamill, Heath Ledger, top tier. Jack Nicholson, I think a lot lower than that, in my personal opinion. So I love how you're not even mentioning Leto. Oh, Leto, right at the bottom there, way down at the bottom. Just like a half-baked Heath Ledger Joker is really what he's doing, and I do not like it. So yeah, all right. Well, okay, few announcements before we wrap out the stream, everybody, because I need to go pee. And also take this off because it's actually getting a little bit hot in this room. So I actually got to take this off before I sweat through this nice vest here. Few announcements. I know I announced earlier on my community tab, and I meant to post up another thing, but I've forgotten to do so. I said on my community tab that I wasn't going to be doing my drunk stream this weekend. That is actually incorrect. So I did have a family member that was going to come visit this weekend, but it turns out they had to reschedule. So I am still going to be doing my drunk live stream Saturday night. We are still going to do that. So Saturday evening, I will be doing my drunk stream. We're going to play some video games and do the normal thing. So that will still be happening. I will have to cancel one probably next month because that's when my family member's coming. So sometime next month, I will probably miss a Saturday night drunk stream. But this weekend will still happen. So we're still going to be doing a Saturday night drunk stream this weekend. So no worries on that. Let's see. Tomorrow's video is a bigger one. It's a little bit of a harder topic, but I try to make it fun and funny. We're going to be talking about transgender healthcare and some of the narratives that have been used to try to push down or limit transgender healthcare. So that is the video that's up. The premiere link is up, and it will be going up at 11 o'clock tomorrow. So I will be in the chat for that. So if you want to be there for that video, it'll be going up at about 11 tomorrow. I think I try to do some fun stuff in it. It's very funny, I think, as well. But it does talk about harder topics, and we do get to some difficult places. So just be forewarned about that there will be some harder topics on that. But there is also some comedy, and Newt was in it as well. He makes a little brief appearance. So all of that's tomorrow. Saturday is that. And I think that's everything. And so now that we are wrapping out the stream, I have a little surprise for everybody. I think I want to show everybody. I had it pulled up, and I forgot that I had it pulled up. So you know what? I'm going to show y'all something. See if I got this up. Here we go. There it is. There it is. And the music dropped out, but sorry about the music dropping out. But I just had to show this off. This is some of the. I shot this literally. I shot this earlier today, and I just had to show off the. I had to show off the costume. I have more. There are more, but this is just the one that you're gonna get. I'm gonna save the rest of them for the video, so you'll all be surprised. So there are more Jessie gender Loki cosplays, but I wanted to show this one off. So there are more. There will be more coming. Okay, everybody. Let me transition back here. You are lovely, and thank you, everybody. I see everyone saying, "Oh, thank you, everybody, for the kind thoughts in chat. You are lovely. I adore you all. You are lovely." And so I'm just gonna end the chat and say, everybody, you are lovely. You are wonderful. Thank you for making this an amazing community. Thank you for enjoying me being stupid with a knife on camera. And I'm probably going to die at some point by stabbing myself accidentally. So you know what happens if that happens. But thank you, everyone, for being lovely. Thank you for being a wonderful community. Thank you for being wonderful people yourself. Thank you to the mods specifically, especially earlier in the chat. There were some bad folks that came in here and tried to be mean, and the mods helped with that. So love to them. But generally just love to all of you, and love to you for being amazing. So I love you all. I adore you all. Hearts to you. I'll either see you tomorrow, Friday, for the video, or Saturday at the drunk stream. But otherwise, I just wish you all a good night and live long and prosper. And now I have to find where the button is. Corey? Corey, I see you laughing at me. I feel your eyes on me, Corey. I feel you getting upset at me. I feel you laughing at me. I know you're not getting upset. You're laughing at me. Anyways, I found the button. I love you all, and have a good night.